Look at my big ass head and little body in this like chair. It's a nice chair though. It's my first time using this asset, and yeah, but it's in description. But yeah, we'll be looking at am I overreacting today? Am I overreacting by breaking up with my boyfriend? Okay, can't make any judgments. Start off. There are screenshots, but I think we need to get some backstory first. So, my 19F and 23M went to a mutual friend's house for drinks tonight. There were some people there that were friends with our friend, but we didn't personally know. My boyfriend and I showed up together. He had his arm around my shoulder the whole night, and we were having a good time. My friend had to go to the toilet, and this guy I didn't know personally started talking to me and kind of flirt. He asked me what I was doing next weekend, and I said, sorry, I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend kind of came back at the wrong moment, and I could tell he was upset. The night went on. As my boyfriend and I were leaving, the guy quickly said how nice it was to meet me. This instantly flipped a switch in my boyfriend, and he said, if you ever come near her again, I will fuck you up. The guy then lets out a slew of apologies, saying that he thought we were siblings because we both have blonde hair, blue eyes. And my boyfriend just grabbed my wrist and we left. It made me super uncomfortably, and I low-key felt bad for the other guy. Is he right about what the guy was thinking? Am I being too naive? Should I have broken up with him? Help, please. Oh, that's an insane reaction. Okay, let's get into the text before we say anything. She says, listen, I appreciate you standing up for me and trying to be protective. The truth is, though, we're both adults. I respect our relationship and love you more than anything, but I really hate confrontation, and you escalating the situation made it 10 times worse. He then replies, babe, I don't think you understand how men work, lol, so let me teach you a little something. Okay. The cute little haha, I have a boyfriend is flirty and an invitation for him to pursue you when I'm not there. I know you didn't mean it in that way, but that's the way it came off. Literally looking at him throughout the night, he was staring at you. It made me sick, and I hate to be crude, but you might want to delete photos on your Insta because imagining the things he would do alone with those makes me sick. She says, do you realize how crazy you sound? He was being friendly. And yes, maybe he was interested at first, but he completely backed off when you yelled at him. I think the message was loud and clear. Do not tell me what to do with my Insta and don't insert random thoughts into his head. He's a great guy or else blank wouldn't have invited him. And honestly, either ask blank or his number and either call or text him an apology. Your behavior was unacceptable and unprovoked. He then replies, wow, okay, lol. Taking blank's side over mine, I would have thought a 9-month relationship meant more than that. I see where your priorities lay. You're the love of my life, future mother of our children. But damn, you piss me off sometimes. I feel so lucky to have you, but your stubbornness of actually accepting you need to confront people sometimes really is something. You can't be a... Ready to leave off? Okay. You can't be a doormat for the rest of your life. I know you would never cheat, and I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about a man getting mixed signals by your unwillingness to say no and you accidentally getting hurt. I'm saying this because I love you so much and I want the best for you and us. She then replies, holy shit. Your response. Anyway, you're saying I'm going to get assaulted because I give mixed signals. I am very clear about my boundaries and relationships. I have no idea where this is coming from. I know I've been out of therapy for a while and maybe things haven't been going as well as I thought. But maybe I need to go back if they're as bad as they are. If I'm truly that poor with my boundaries, I think I need a break and need to reevaluate the relationship. Thank you very much for giving me that clarity. He then replies, you're being immature from running from this. I'm going to call you so I can explain more. You have a very intelligent mind and it boggles me why you don't get what I'm saying. Oh boy. Ooh. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay. Okay. All right. So to start off, I appreciate and understand why she broached the topic the way she did. Very like, hey, I appreciate you standing up for me and being protective, but what ensued did make me uncomfortable. It's not like you're fully blaming them. It's as if you are still giving them credit where it's due. But then he went on to be like very condescending by saying such things as, I don't think you understand how men work, so let me teach you a little something. Which is insane. That is crazy to say. She is a woman. She's an adult. And what it sounds to me, she is, I assume, to be an attractive woman, so I don't think she doesn't understand how this works. I don't think this is her first rodeo of letting someone, down, rejecting them. And I won't lie, there is a very real and true fear about, some men, obviously not all, and how they will react when getting rejected. And yeah, it can cause for some uncomfortable situations. Obviously, we don't know how that would have happened here, if it would have happened. But even after reading all of this, I still think he reacted quite poorly. And it's not to say that you're at the end of the day, you're allowed to feel how you want to feel. I think, again, in some degrees, possessiveness or jealousy are very human emotions, right? But it's what you do with that. And I think they could have had a healthier conversation here rather than him reacting this way. Like, there's no reason to threaten some random person because he said nice to meet you to your girlfriend. Insane. But yeah, no. And to be honest, he says the cute little haha, I have a boyfriend is flirty and an invitation to pursue when I'm not there. At that point, if someone still pursues someone after getting rejected, I think that means they're just not a great person and nothing you would have said would have helped that. That's not on her. And throughout this whole conversation, he's treating her as if she's a child and doesn't understand anything. Again, insane. Overall, he's I think it's just him. I don't think she's done anything wrong in this situation. She handled it quite well. I think it's just him and his insecurities. He seems controlling. It is not her problem that someone might do something with her photos on Instagram. And the fact he's yeah, you should take those down because of this one interaction we had at this party where nothing happened. My goodness. Okay. Oh no, it's just I don't disagree with the fact that yeah, you do need to confront people sometimes in life. But again, not the situation, not relevant. She did make her boundaries clear. And again, if someone's going to cross them, there is nothing she could have done about that. And there's just something particularly foul about like you're being immature from running from this. I'm sorry, you're being immature from running from, yeah. I'm going to call you so I can explain more. You have a very intelligent mind, and it boggles me why you don't get what I'm saying. She understands what you're saying, she just disagrees with it, rightfully so. I don't think she's overreacting by breaking up with this man. Like, this is one of those situations where I feel like it'll only get worse. Like, man, woman, MB, if someone shows you this type of side of them and they seem like they're firmly planted in this idea or mindset in the way they act, run. I'm sorry, they're showing you their ass, please run. That's crazy. No, absolutely not. Okay, I think not overreacting at all. I think she did good by breaking up with him. Hope she doesn't go back. He needs to work on himself. Yeah. Okay, let's look at some comments. I'm going to call you so I can explain more. He thinks you don't understand what he's saying because you're not agreeing with him. LOL. Your boundaries seem fine to me. If anything, I think his reaction at your friend's house was over the top. Maybe he can use some therapy for his anger control issues. Not overreacting. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That's kind of scary. Someone piggybacked off that and they said, I had a partner who did this and it pissed me off so badly. You only disagree because you don't understand. Like, no, I 100% understand what you're saying and the reasoning behind it. I just disagree because I'm a separate person with my own separate thoughts and values that are occasionally different than yours. Yeah. And like, obviously, if you're in a relationship, yeah, there's a good chance you may agree on everything, right? But there's also a chance you will disagree. And that's often where compromise comes in at. Is this a compromising situation? No. This is someone not realizing that they have issues, control issues, anger issues. This is someone treating their partner like they are a child, a blubbering idiot. Anyway. We'll read one more like comment that's piggybacking off that. Why can I not say that word? God, the way my gut reaction was reading those texts is something my ex would send. Every time I didn't agree with him and or had a different viewpoint, it boiled down to me and the fact that I just don't get it. He must have truly thought I was the dumbest woman alive because to hear him tell the tale, I didn't understand anything. And my life was made of unicorns and rainbow dust. And like, sure, I'm not winning any struggle awards and plenty of people have it worse than me, but that doesn't negate the fact that I have an opinion on things at times. Exactly. Like, your partner should be able to at least respect your viewpoint. Okay. One more comment. No, it's worse than that. He doesn't think she doesn't understand. He thinks she has too much room to refuse him. Think if he can't cow her with his voice into just shutting up and agreeing with him to keep the peace. When people want to force you into a phone call, it's so they can put you on the spot and force you into something. See aggressive sell tactics from people with the one-time deals you must commit to now or you'll miss out and the like as well. Honestly, that is very true. Like, well, I don't know. I'm also someone that would prefer to typically speak over the phone when it comes to issues, but yeah, I guess you could typically get manipulated more easily to manipulate if you are put on the spot as well. I guess I can kind of see that. Also, now that I'm remembering, he literally says in his text that he doesn't think she's going to cheat. And then that should be like the end of the conversation there. Like you supposedly have trust in your partner. So again, why is this her problem? Like again, I think it's just a control thing, overtly possessive thing. If I say I have a boyfriend and someone interprets that as an invitation, then they need to reevaluate their comprehension of the English language. Some men are inclined to misunderstand every no they get. Keyword some. OP should tell her boyfriend he clearly doesn't understand how women work, so let her explain something to him. And start sending her boyfriend links to all the news articles of women being murdered, beaten, and abused because they said no. Politely, harshly, nicely, rudely, cautiously, assertively. Doesn't matter how they delivered it, and they were still violently punished for telling a man no. Part of the reason to say I have a boyfriend is because other men are more likely to respect a woman belonging to another man, as the reason she is off limits rather than respecting her and her autonomy. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I know there are some people out there that will take the sentence, sorry, I have a boyfriend. But it's literally to appease the other party because you don't know how they're going to react. Like, I know a knee-jerk reaction to those that might not consider it would be, why are you saying sorry for having a boyfriend or something of the sort? But it's literally just to appease the other party. Again, because you don't know the reaction. Okay. I think overall people agree that she was not overreacting. This was posted 2 months ago, and I hope she's okay. Next one. Am I overreacting? My husband didn't want to get our daughter medicine when she was feeling sick. Off the bat, I'm gonna say no. Granted, he wasn't also sick. He is not disabled in some capacity and or just busy. Okay, let's get into it. Obviously, I don't think so, but you know. I, 38F, and my husband, 38M, have a 10-year-old daughter, and she has started getting migraines, and this was only her second migraine ever. She mentioned around noon today she wasn't feeling great, and then around 2 it was a full-blown headache. So I gave her some ibuprofen, and she asked if I would lay with her in her room because her headache was getting a lot worse. Side note, we only had a little left of children's Tylenol, so either me or my husband were going to have to go out and get more. About half hour after we laid down, I texted my husband and asked if he would go out and grab the Tylenol. He said he didn't feel like leaving the house, so I asked him to come and lay with our daughter then, and I would go instead. She's not an overly dramatic child when she's sick, and I can tell she was in a lot of pain. I get migraines, so I know how awful they can be. But instead of coming in and just keeping an eye on our daughter, she started texting me this. I don't know, maybe I'm being overly sensitive about it, but it really bothers me that he has such a hard time comforting our daughter when she doesn't feel well. And honestly, it's less than once a year that she is so sick that she wants her mom and dad to lay with her. He always says, my parents never did that for me, and I turned out just fine. So am I wrong for being upset with him? I'm sorry, we'll get to the text, but something I've never understood. Well, obviously people do react differently, but when it comes to your own upbringing and, trauma, and I do think it's in part because people don't, go to therapy and unpack their trauma, but this idea that you shouldn't try to be better, like, just because your parents didn't do that for you and you turned out fine, I guess. Well, I mean, did you really turn out fine if you're acting like this? Like, why would you want to treat your daughter the same way? I don't understand that. Okay, let's read the text. Is this a screenshot of Tylenol? Can 10-year-olds take Tylenol? Okay, someone says you're wrong, just like ibuprofen. Look at our Tylenol, it's 500 mg per tablet. Okay, we have pill cutters, right? 500 mg. 3/4 would be the same as 375. Pretty certain it's not going to kill her if she exceeds the dose slightly, just food for thought. Holy shit, blank. Your kid is suffering with a terrible headache and you're going to make her leave the dark room so she can come and lay with you on the couch. I'm watching football. Oh my god. Okay. I seriously want to post this online. Do whatever you want to do. Like, do you not even realize for a second how horrible you sound? He then replies, she's got a headache. She will be fine. It's also dark in the living room. She just asked when you were coming in. He then replies, wouldn't just giving her ibuprofen have the same effect? Is laying with her in bed going to do anything? It just seems pointless to me. Brother, that is your daughter. What do you mean? Oh my god. Okay. She then says, don't be a jerk. He says, it's just not necessary. She's gonna be in pain anyway. Oh my god. Okay. Mother then replies, dude, she just doesn't feel good. She feels better being near a parent. There's a lot of things we can say we just do that you just don't do. I'm not asking much of you right now, so stop. Okay, then go get the children's Tylenol, please. Is she incapable of laying out here? Okay. That broke my brain. Okay. I don't want to make a blanket statement like, yeah, bro hates his family and his child and his wife, but it's giving, I hate my family. If I want to be like gracious, maybe. No, that's insane. I'll be honest, I don't have any kids myself. I don't know if I ever will, even though I want them. And I couldn't imagine like knowing my child's in pain and not at least trying to, even if I couldn't technically do anything, like at least when it comes to easing their pain, the best I could do is comfort them in their time of need. Especially if like, she says she's not an overly dramatic child when she's sick. And I could tell she was in a lot of pain. Like, that just sounds like she doesn't ask for too much. Like, and again, this makes me so mad. I don't think I've ever had like a migraine, but you know, I have a lot of headaches. Thanks to my mother, we both struggled with that, and particularly tension headaches as well. And I've heard migraines can be so much worse. Like, it can literally make you unable to move, unable to open your eyes. You're very sensitive to sounds, right? She is probably in so much pain. Of course, having a parent there will help her. And at least if you didn't want to like go lay down with her, you couldn't just go get medicine? Brother, what? Again, I don't know their situation. I don't know how far they are from a store. But I can't imagine it being more than a, 10 to 15 minute drive maybe? Again, I don't know. You just couldn't do that for your daughter because you were watching football. My God. That is so scary. To like marry and have children with someone who treats not only you like that, but your children. That would make me scared for like, what if you're like not there? Whether it's like you're busy, whether it's because you're, God forbid, sick, or you've passed on, and then they're stuck with someone who just doesn't care. They're gonna be left fending by themselves. Ugh, okay. I know that's a bit extreme, but I feel like when it comes to not only relationships and, you know, obviously kids, you have to be so careful with who you choose to do that with. How they react in situations like this can literally make or break things. In my opinion, I don't know. Okay, let's look at some comments. She is not overreacting. Guy is awful. Okay. Okay, let's look at some comments. He always says my parents never did that for me and I turned out just fine. Yeah, so he did not turn out just fine. What kind of parent knows their kid is in pain, wants to be comforted, and just says no? She's going to remember who was there and who wasn't. 100%. Like, my God. Someone piggybacked off that and said, my nephew turned 21 this year and has really been assessing and analyzing his parents' behavior throughout his childhood. He's found his father is severely lacking and has begun to treat him as such. Now his father is a crying mess on the phone all the time, wanting to spend time together, while he still has time to spend, and my nephew wants none of it. This girl will absolutely remember these things, and I can't wait for this ass to find himself wailing in his cold and lonely studio apartment 11 years from now. Wishing he had done more things to help take care of her when she was sick. Sure, it'll only be because he's getting old and sick himself and doesn't want to be alone, but hey, that won't be her problem then, just like she's apparently not his problem now. My God, dude. Okay. Another comment says, is she incapable of laying in the living room? Yes, she has a migraine, you lazy, deadbeat piece of shit. Not overreacting, underreacting, in fact. Another comment says, I don't know how to put this, but dudes that like their family don't talk like this. Yeah, I agree. Another comment says, piggybacking off that, you really need to listen to what this poster is telling you. My husband is literally out now getting cold medicine for our 15-year-old son. Men who want to be family men will go miles out of their way for their family. Truthfully, there are men that are strangers that would buy medication for a child. Yeah. Any person that truly loves and cares, again, meaning they are in a position to, they are not sick themselves, they are not disabled or busy, they will 100% go get that medicine. They will 100% comfort that child. That is insane. Wow. That was posted 6 days ago as of recording. I don't see any updates. Again, I don't think there's gonna be much of one. What can you do? I don't think this person's gonna change anytime soon. That must be so lonely, not only for the wife, but also the child. I wish them the best, I really do. Am I overreacting? Speaking to my wife after her affair. Oof. Not gonna lie. Cheating is kind of a trigger for me for multiple reasons. Okay. My wife had an affair after I was in an accident. A short-lived one, but she got pregnant and miscarried. I was determined to make this relationship... Oh, sorry. I was determined to make this marriage work. We've been together 22 years. My family's the only real thing I ever had. She left for a while, then I let her move back home, and it wasn't working. She tried to sleep with me a few days after coming back, which made me angry, and I couldn't stop resenting her. I asked her to leave again. She's staying with her sister. We started marriage therapy. Our therapist recommended us at first when we see each other once or twice out of the week. She's mad at how I snapped on her, and now I'm starting to feel kind of guilty as well, because as much as I'm hurting, this is the only family she's ever had. It is so hard for me to not be like, if it's the only family she's ever had, then why did she do what she did? It's so hard for me not to make some blanket statement like that. And after your accident, I have a hot take, and I feel like people won't agree with me because it's more so like it is a blanket statement. Obviously, I do realize the intricacies and nuance of being a human, human of feelings and emotions and actions, but I think if someone cheats on you, they hate you. I I've had a friend disagree with me, and they're right to do. And they're like, no, it's more so they're just selfish and yada yada yada. I think they can be selfish and they can hate you. Because cheating is a multi-step it's a multi-step process, okay? And in each and every one of those steps, they don't consider, hey, what about my partner? Hey, what about what we've built together? Hey, what about their mental health, their physical health? What about anything? Like they don't consider you. They hate you. I'm sorry, they hate you. Like it's not funny. You'll find that sometimes I laugh because I am uncomfortable because sometimes I can't comprehend the audacity of some people. Yeah, please don't misunderstand. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, sorry. I ranted a little without even getting into the text. My bad. Okay, let's see. First text. How long can you keep treating me like I am nothing over something I did that meant nothing to me? I know nothing I do would ever excuse what I've done, and I can't apologize enough. I raised 2 children. I am old. My hair's turning gray. It's turning gray. I hate looking at myself in the mirror, and I work so much all the time. I am a mother and a wife. Do you know how that makes a woman feel? Old. I felt old, and for a short time I felt young, and that is all I was longing. I know I can't apologize enough, but that's all it was. All I want is to fix this for the children, for our unborn grandchild, for us. They then reply, "You're joking, right? I'm not doing this over text right now." She then says, "Then let me come home and we can talk. Please, you don't know what this does to me. I am nothing without my family. I'm here, I go to work, I come back, and Dahlia is getting concerned for us. This is really hurting my heart, and the longer we are away from each other, the harder it's going to be. I don't want to wait till Tuesday to see you. Can we please maybe just get some dinner?" This person that says, "Work today, my knee and back are acting up. I'm not going out. You aren't coming here. You can wait until Tuesday." He then replies, "You're keeping me from my children. They are both minors. You can't do that to me. I am their mother. You guys are my family. Please, please, please. I'm begging. I'm begging you. You let me come there just to see my kids. I'll go back to the guest room. I won't talk to you. I'll cook dinner for you guys. It can take care of your knee and your back. Stop being so heartless." I'll continue reading the text. There's more, but there's something nefarious and so just awful about like a person that will do you wrong, and then when you react to their wrongdoing, when you need to take the time to not only process but also heal, try to heal, they stomp all over your boundaries. They act like you wanting time and space from them is heartless, is cold, as if they didn't just uproot your whole entire life. That's insane. That is crazy. Okay. They then reply, "I'm not keeping you from anyone. Both the boys have access to a vehicle and can come see you if they wished. They don't. You're not coming home. I'm not being heartless. I laid in our bathtub for over an hour just to avoid coming out and seeing your miserable face. You crying as if you were actually sorry. I tried to do the you at home thing, but you make me sick to my stomach. You tried to sleep with me 4 days after I let you move back in. Tried to seducing me when I stated that you cried When I stated that, you cried, said how sick it is. You have to seduce your own husband. Well, you slept with a boy, not a man, a 25-year-old. That's only 8 years older from our oldest son. You let him bring you home, and you whored around and forgot about our family and forgot about me injured. You got a call that my car flipped and ran to the hospital ready to be by my side. My aid through sickness and health, and when I was in bed for weeks recovering, you went and fucked a man-child. Conceived his child, then lost it in the middle of our living room in front of our sons. You say to me how I don't understand, how you're grieving a child while I'm grieving my wife and my family I had. If you want this marriage to have any shot at working, you have to listen to our therapist and start giving me the space I need to get over the sickness that I feel that you gave me. We were a happy family before you stepped out. Oh, that breaks my heart, man. Yeah, I didn't even, I know I read it, but I didn't, put emphasis on the fact that, yeah, he had an accident. He was recovering, and you chose to do that. Oh, God, okay. I already see this is going to be a joy to read. She then says, how dare you speak to me that way? I am your wife. I don't care if I'm in your home or not. I am your wife. I am the mother of your children. The way you describe me blows my mind. You were swearing up and down how you wanted this marriage to work. Now you're not sure? I know the situation is beyond messed up. I messed up, but I lost my baby. I've never experienced loss like that. You're going too far. This is going too far. I'm willing to change. Please just tell me how. And that is all the text we have. Jesus Christ. I do feel bad. Again, as someone who has not had children, I've not gotten pregnant in incapacity. And obviously I haven't experienced a miscarriage. That is something I cannot fathom. And I do feel bad for her. As again, I can't even imagine how that feels. Well, I won't broach that. I do think there is grief there that should be held, but you can't blame your husband that you stepped out on. That is not his problem. Maybe that's a bit heartless for me to say, but I don't blame him for reacting the way he has. For a child he, didn't conceive, didn't want, and would have been essentially maybe beholden you to take care of. It definitely seemed like you would try to make him do so, despite whatever he felt. That's rough. I can't say anything more on that side of things. That's just awful. Okay, yeah. But I don't think she necessarily, I'm sure she does miss her children, her sons, I believe. But he stated that they have access to a vehicle, and if they want to see her, they would. I do think there's a common misconception. I don't doubt it happens sometimes, but when parents separate, or if there's wrongdoing involved, some parents the other parent, the ostracized parent, just likes to think that, oh hey, the other parent is bad mouthing me to the children, and that's why they don't want to see me. When sometimes it is just a reflection of your own actions, whatever that may be. In my own personal situation, do I want to get into? Yeah, no, I don't mind. Long story short, there was supposed cheating in my parents' relationship, and even though my father denies it, I do think he did, and because of that, I wouldn't reach out with him at times. Like, don't get me wrong, I was a teenager as well, so that didn't help things. I just generally didn't want to talk to a lot of people, especially those that weren't in the vicinity after they split, of course. But yeah, if like you like my mother and I didn't have the greatest relationship growing up, but even at that age, I could realize that, hey, that is an awful thing to do to someone you love. That is an action that typically destroys families. And you still chose to do it. And I, again, even as a kid, realized that and reacted accordingly, aka I just didn't reach out. Like, again, if they wanted to see her, they could, and if they don't, she has to also respect that. But she does seem like someone that really wants to stamp all over people's boundaries. But part of me, it's giving, it's a type of excuse. Like, yeah, I'm sure she does want to see her kids to an extent, but I think she's also worried about him words are hard. Worried about him distancing himself more. She still wants to find any way inside close again that she can. And I think in part she's using the kids as an excuse. Okay. That's such a rough situation. I really hope I didn't say anything too, I guess, heartless about the miscarriage thing. It is a rough thing. Sorry if so. One comment says, I'll cash app you $5 if you respond to her message with thumbs down. Now, NTA, if the kids are old enough to go see their mother on their own and are actively choosing not to, that's their choice. She's manipulative. At first it was feel bad for me, then it was think of the kids, then it was let me take care of you, and finally it was how dare you when you said what you rightfully felt. Exactly. Like, so awful. She is so manipulative. Oh my god, when she said, how dare you talk to me like that, I'm your wife. I was like, holy shit, how dare you speak to him that way after everything you've said to him, after what you did to the family. The fact her sons won't see her speaks volumes. Oh yeah, you had unprotected sex with a 25-year-old that's, what, 8 years older than your youngest is what he said, right? Wow, that is insane. Comment says, you're not overreacting. When my ex cheated and we split, and I was going through the motions just like you, 5 stages of grief. He basically told me shortly after it happened that I should be over it and got pissed whenever I bring it up. Hindsight is 2020. And the writing was on the wall. She's victimizing herself despite being the one that stepped out. She sucks and you deserve better. Sorry, OP. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and judge anyone that decides to try and stay in a relationship where the other person cheated. Like, at the end of the day, it's your life, and if you feel like that's what's best for you, if you feel like you can work through it, all the power to you. I personally know I couldn't do that, and in the past, something I tried, and it ended up destroying me on the inside. On one hand, I do think that, again, you are allowed to grieve your relationship, the safety of that relationship, the then insecurities that come from getting cheated on, have you. But, and obviously something like that takes a lot to heal from. Again, I know. But there will come a point, and I do see this with a lot of relationship talk online about how a person can't get over it, which again, don't blame them for. But when they do try and stay together after such a thing happening, there does come a point where it's like, yeah, it's not going to work because you can't let it go. I'm sorry. Another comment says, she says it was something that I did that meant nothing to me. Think about that. Think about the pain it caused you. It meant nothing to her. You underreacted, my brother. Yeah, saying something like that doesn't help. Yeah, it just makes it worse. So you did this thing that meant nothing to you, that destroyed our family, that destroyed my safety, that destroyed everything we built. Yeah, no. Yeah, she sucks. I hope OP and his sons are okay, because this is just an awful situation made by some very, very selfish person. Awful, awful. Okay, I've been yapping enough. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will get better at reading. Listen, to be fair, I read a lot outside of things, and I'm a very fast mental reader, but I need to remind myself that my mouth can't quite catch up with that, with how fast I'm trying to read, okay? I'm trying. It's so bad. I'm just another VTuber that can't speak. They can read.